Everyone is chasing the next life hack. Morning routines, mindfulness apps, productivity systems, and so on. But the Stoics? They had their own life apps 2,000 years ago, and they didn't need Wi-Fi to work. These weren't feel-good tips. They were disciplines. Tools to train the mind like an athlete trains the body. Practices for resilience, calm, and courage. So today, let's explore 4 Stoic rituals that can quietly rewire your mindset. Negative visualization, journaling, voluntary discomfort, and the haunting but powerful Memento Mori. Okay? Let's set the scene. The Stoics believed philosophy wasn't something you studied, it was something you did. Marcus Aurelius didn't sit in his palace reading motivational quotes. He wrote his own reminders to stay grounded while ruling an empire. Seneca didn't wait for calm circumstances. He practiced calmness in the midst of chaos. These guys treated philosophy like medicine, daily doses of truth to keep the soul healthy, and that's the essence of Stoic practice. Training your mind before the storm hits, not during it. A wise man once said to me, "A warrior does not learn how to wield his sword on the battlefield. He must master his weapon before the day of battle." Now that the scene is set, let's explore our 4 Stoic rituals that can quietly help rewire our mindset. First one, let's start with something that sounds dark. Negative visualization, or premeditatio malorum. It means the premeditation of evils. The idea is simple. Imagine losing what you have, your job, your health, your loved ones, not to sink into despair, but to sharpen gratitude and loosen attachment. Seneca wrote, "He robs present ills of their power, one who has perceived their coming." Dwell and think on this for a little. When you mentally rehearse loss, pain, or despair, you're not wishing for it. You're strengthening your emotional muscles, almost like preparing for the worst that could happen. So, when life throws curveballs, you're somewhat prepared. You don't shatter, you bend. You don't become completely emotionless or immune to pain. You are just better prepared to handle it. Try this. Tomorrow morning, before you check your phone, pause and look around, consciously. The roof over your head, the people you love, even your morning coffee, all temporary gifts. Feel their fragility. You realize that gratitude hits differently when you accept that nothing is guaranteed. This is not pessimism, it's perspective. The next one, practice number 2, journaling. Marcus Aurelius' meditations wasn't written for anyone else. It was his private notebook, a self-coaching diary, a mirror for the mind. He'd write notes in his journal to remind himself not to take insults personally, not to chase applause, to remember the bigger picture, and so on and so forth. In modern terms, journaling is a Stoic feedback loop. It's how you capture your thoughts before they control you. Here's how you can do it. At night, reflect on the day. What did I do well today? Where did I act out of impulse? Write or type on your phone these reflections. In the morning, set intentions. What kind of person do I want to be today? What lessons must I learn from yesterday's mistakes and wins? No fancy journal is required. Just a few lines of honesty can reset your mind. The note app on your phone will even suffice. Epictetus said, "Don't explain your philosophy, embody it." Journaling is where you catch yourself before you drift from that ideal. Now, here's a practice that separates dabblers from true Stoics. Practice number 3, voluntary discomfort. The Stoics believe that comfort makes us soft, not just physically, but mentally. So, they intentionally practice small hardships, like fasting, walking in the cold, wearing simple clothes, sleeping on the floor, and so on. Seneca once wrote, "Set aside a certain number of days during which you shall be content with the scantiest and cheapest fare, so that it may be that fortune may take away much, but you will still have enough." In our world, voluntary discomfort might mean taking a cold shower, walking and using the bus instead of driving, skipping luxuries for a week, or saying no to convenience for a day. Why? Because when you expose yourself to mild discomfort, you train your brain to stay calm when life gets genuinely hard. You remind yourself, I can handle this. It's not punishment, it's preparation. It's a way of keeping ourselves grounded. And finally, the most misunderstood Stoic practice, Memento Mori, which means remember you must die. Sounds morbid, right? But the Stoics use this not to depress themselves, but to ignite urgency. Marcus Aurelius wrote, you could leave life right now, as in, you could depart from this world right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think. Memento Mori reminds us that time isn't endless. That argument you're holding on to, that dream or goal you keep delaying, this practice whispers, don't waste it. Don't delay any longer. In a world where we scroll endlessly, convinced there'll always be more time, this truth hits hard, but it's also freeing. Because once you accept mortality, you stop postponing and procrastinating. You stop living half awake and going with the motion. Instead, you start to live with purpose and intention. Not becoming too attached to anything or expecting grandeur from life, but in contentment and simplicity. These 4 practices, visualization, journaling, voluntary discomfort, and remembering mortality, are mental training grounds. They don't eliminate hardship. They build a mind that can face it. That's what makes Stoicism timeless. It's not about running from life's storms. It's about building the inner stillness to walk through them, calm, prepared, and unshaken. In a world obsessed with shortcuts and fast tracks, the Stoics remind us, wisdom isn't downloaded. It's developed daily. So here's your Stoic challenge this week. Pick one of these practices and live it. Maybe write for 3 minutes each night. Or take a cold shower once a week. Or imagine losing something you love and use that moment to appreciate it more deeply. Whatever you choose, commit to it for 7 days. Notice how your perspective changes. I'd love to hear from you. Drop a comment below and tell me, which Stoic practice will you try this week? What did it teach you about yourself? Your insight might just be the reminder someone else needs today.